Shall we get started or shall we wait for some more time?
You can start now.
Okay. Uh, so, uh, so warm welcome to you all again on Thursday. Today is the last day of the session, and today we are going to focus mostly on the Web Methods Developer Portal and integrate it with API Gateway and see how the API consumption and application management can be done from Developer Portal, along with the help of approval workflows. So today I have just this topic to cover, and after that, I don't think whole 4 hours will be needed for this. So after that, if you have any other topics that you want me to explain to you, like whatever we have covered so far till today, any topic that you want me to revisit or explain, or if you have any question and answer, so we can reserve the remaining hours to for those things. So yet yesterday we completed like almost all the API gateway related topics. Just um, in continuation with our yesterday's discussion on API gateways threat management policy and also yeah, mostly threat management policy. So I think one of the use case that you presented yesterday to me was about scanning, virus scanning for the uploaded files. So I wasn't sure if you have already procured Active Transfer Server or Active Transfer Gateway for file-based transactions. So normally, like if we are looking at checking virus scanning for uploaded files, then we can implement the same thing in Active Transfer Gateway. So we need not use actually. So normally for file-based transaction, we do not use API Gateway because API Gateway transactions are supposed to be real time and lightweight, and file streaming is not a very valid use case for using APIs. So for file based transactions, we use Active Transfer Gateway and the server. So the gateway acts something. I mean, it acts as a gateway. So it has all this reverse invoke capabilities and etc. to the actual server, active transfer server, where the file processing can happen. So if we at all need to run virus scanning logic for the uploaded files, we can probably look at implementing gateway and server. And in gateway, we can connect the similar way what we saw yesterday for integrating with an ICAP server. The same feature is available over there, and we can connect our Active Transfer Gateway to a virus scanning software and can use that for inbound file virus scanning. Whereas the other normal API request can flow through the API management API gateways threat management layer, where we can implement all the DOS attack. Uh, the policies to prevent DOS attacks. So maybe just like a quick overview on that. So maybe we can place one um, transfer gateway in the DMZ zone, and there will be like an active transfer server cluster in the green zone. and all from your external customers can send the files via this gateway where all the threat protection. Also, we can, for even for file-based transactions, we can implement some of the throttling policies, or we can specify the limit or the file size a particular consumer can execute. So we can do all these checks here and reject the file if there are any policy violations. If not, the files will be sent or pulled by the Active Transfer server and it will be processed. So this is one of the options we can explore if we really want to implement virus scanning for the uploaded files. So this is something I remembered, and I also spoke with Natarajan. Looks like Active Transfer is one of the tools that you might use in future. So instead of using API gateway for file upload and hence the file processing via API, maybe we can choose this path to implement. So that is one thing. And about the app mesh, so I was trying to run the installer to see whether app mesh of, is covered in the installer. So I don't see an option for selecting app mesh separately. So if I have micro gateway selected, which got installed along with API gateway. So probably it is the reason why you are not able to see it in your environment is probably due to the license restriction, because I'm using Software Edge's internal license with which I can access any feature of all these products. So probably you need to check with the licensing team or the sales team on ground on this issue. Okay. So apart from that, I don't remember any other things that we left open yesterday. So as said, we'll start or we'll start seeing how developer portal can be useful for your usage scenario, and what do we need to do for configuring and using developer portal. So on day one, I explained that developer portal is nothing but like an online shopping portal for APIs where we can select, view different APIs, look at their capabilities, look at their functionalities, how we can invoke, like how a consumer can invoke such an API, what do they need to send from their end in the request or for authentication, etc. And if they are satisfied with the API, the usage of it or the data it returns, the way it is invoked, etc. If they are satisfied with that, then they can, and beforehand, they can also do a quick test of the API, like an instant ad hoc testing possible from developer portal. And if they are satisfied, then they can start using the developer portal. Start consuming the APIs, and also being the API provider, I can decide whether these APIs will be given to these particular consumers for free, or if we can implement some sort of monetization and charge the consumers for using this API. So when we talk about developer portal, so as I said, like it is the online portal or online shopping portal for APIs. So the first and foremost thing that we need to ensure is that developer portal has always an active connection with the API gateway. Now, so this connection has to be established first even before we start of publishing APIs from the gateway and create the API gallery on the portal. So for that, for establishing the connection between gateway and portal, we can come here from the we can log into API gateway and come to this at log into API gateway as an administrator and come to this administration page. From here, we can select API portal. So API portal up to 10.7, we used to call it API portal. From 10.11 of web methods, this product got rebranded as developer portal, and when they rebranded it, they slightly changed the underlying architecture. From the usage point of view, we do not see much difference. It's still the same thing, but the underlying architecture has changed lot. Actually, in 10.11, it became much more simpler. So, because in 10.7, I think in order to install developer portal and also to start it, it required a cloud agent. It required the some sort of, I think, content server, etc. From 10.11 onwards, the architecture is very simple. All it needs is the data store. And if Elasticsearch is up and running, then we can run it can, like, the moment Elasticsearch starts, the web portal gets accessible and we can start using developer portal. So we'll cover this topic during our administration of API Gateway, Developer Portal, and IS session. So all we need to, I mean, the installation will talk about that. So just that for your reference. Um, uh, in order to start developer portal, we do not have much work to do. All that you start the Elasticsearch and developer portal will become available to you. Now, coming back to this topic, like how we can configure developer portal connected with API gateway. So from this configuration page, we can configure the developer portal and gateway communication. So remember, this is like a bidirectional communication because API gateway is supposed to publish all the APIs from gateway to portal as well as plans and packages. So API gateway needs to access portal. All at the same time, developer portal has should be able to connect to API gateway for application creation for in case of try API or like when a consumer take subscription, API subscription, then also at that time the application is created back. So the communication is directional. However, the communication is managed from API gateway, and hence all required configurations are done in API gateway. So on this screen, as you can see, like we have to provide information about portal as well as gateway. So we can give name, can give a logical name, and then what is the version, and then the portal server's information. So localhost 18101 is the default port for developer portal. So we can provide it here. The tenant name by default is selected as default, so no change in here. Then a username password is required. Similar way for providing the API gateway configuration, like you will find this URL, base URL is auto-populated. All you need to do is portal user, select the username and the password. Now, stage name is we can decide from which stage of the API gateway we have to publish the API. So we may decide that we will publish all the APIs from production stage or maybe from UAT stage. So additionally, we can configure such a stage name so that whenever the API gateway is mapped to that stage, So basically, this API is mapped to the stage name. So only APIs in UAT stage can be published to the portal. An API gateway, which is configured as a QA stage API gateway or development stage API gateway, will not have the permission to publish the gateway APIs to the portal. So at the time of publish, it will do this check and it will fail the publish activity. Now, coming to the user, so we have to create, so as I said, like it is a bidirectional communication, hence we need an username created on both sides, on portal as well as gateway, which is capable of connecting the gateway or the portal, vice versa. So this particular user has to have necessary privileges in order for, so when, for example, Gateway publishes the API, so we need an user which will have the capability of managing APIs on the portal side. Similarly, when portal triggers the application creation, we need to use an user ID which has the privileges to manage applications on gateway. So for simplicity here, I have kept the username same. So these users are created. So before starting this configuration, we have to make sure these users are available. So I have created this portal user on the gateway side, and I have given it, I think, API gateway providers privileges. So using API gateways provider privileges, this user is capable of managing all APIs and manage all the, sorry, wanted to show the team. So it is capable of doing API management, policy management and all. So on the portal side, if I log in as an administrator, so from the user management feature, we'll see that we have same user groups, the API provider user groups, etc., are present. So these are like the predefined user groups, and the privileges are underlying privileges are same. So what gateway provides, the portal provides the same thing. So this user I have created on the gateway side. Similarly, I have created a portal user on the developer portal side and have assigned same privilege, that the privileges of an API provider. So we can view the privileges from this user info page. So of course, we can use two different usernames. So just for ease of remembering password, I have kept the username same and hence the same password. So we need to provide this. Sorry, we need to provide this information here, and then once all the information are given, we can test the connection. If all good, it will say portal configuration test is successful. Then we can publish this connection information. So it will go sit in the developer portal side, as well as API gateway has this knowledge. Now, always remember that API portal to gateway connection, sorry, developer portal to API gateway connection is always one-to-one. So an API gateway can only connect to one portal. Vice versa, API portal is always connected to one gateway. So if tomorrow we need to bring another API gateway, there has to be sorry, if tomorrow we are bringing in another developer portal, so there has to be a separate API gateway to support that. So I have come across, so I was explaining yesterday this about this sandbox setup where this like we have created, okay, I have removed it. But in the DMZ zone, like for one of the customers in DMZ zone, we created a developer portal and API gateway combo. So so this one is created particularly for all users to try the API features without irrespective of whether or not they are internal and all. And so important thing is this communication is like limited to only these two. So when an user is like ready to start API subscription, we had like or that customer developed some custom workflow. And at some point, they triggered the gateways, portal and gateways workflows. So all the consumer activity or details were moved to the actual developer portal, which is again something sitting on the in the DMZ layer, but this time this portal has the ability to connect to this the actual backend API gateway. So if it is in a cluster, so it will connect via the load balancer. But as I'm saying, like this portal to gateway connection is always one-to-one. Now, this portal cannot connect back to this API gateway, or once we like this portal to this API gateway connection is not possible. Also, this portal cannot connect to this API gateway. So at any point of time, there has to be only one gateway and portal communication. So once all these things are done, we can publish this publish this configuration, and that will be shared with portal. So now portal also knows which API gateway to connect to. I think forgetting where manage providers. So once the information is published and from under manage providers page, we can see what is the no, there is something else. Yeah, I'm forgetting where from they can see the the connection, but it is possible to view the same connection details from the portal page. I believe it is from here, but coding themes, no. Okay, it is embedded. So yeah, okay. So after this, we after this communication is established, we can publish any number of APIs to the portal. So we can either select one by one, or we can do a bulk select, and we can choose this option to publish all the APIs. Now, whenever we try to publish some APIs from gateway to the portal, API gateway prompts this window saying what should be the destination. So since I want to publish them to the portal, so I can select API portal as the destination. So at the time of publishing, API gateway also asks like which community to into which community all this APIs will be tagged to. So community in portal is kind of like private and public viewing of the APIs. So by default, we have a public community created. So any applications or any like when someone tries to and even also like the users who are onboarding anything, if nothing is specified, everything gets tagged to this public community. So user onboarding, API publishing, etc., everything gets tagged to this public community. So later on, we can change some API tagging to change the API grouping and map them to some specific community. So let's say if I'm creating a private community, um, so only like a handful of consumers will be given access to this private community, or we can control which APIs will be part of that. So if this community is pre-created, so at the time of publish, let me republish them again. API gateway will now prompt that whether I want to publish the APIs and map them to public community so that everyone can view them, or can map them to private community. So I can select both or one based on the requirement. So once everything is decided, configured, then we can publish the APIs likewise, and it will show, gateway will show the progress of API publish. And once the publish activity is completed, we can see all the APIs under the API gallery page. So API gateway after publishing will give me or will return this kind of report. It is saying like out of 10 APIs, 8 were successful. So we can see which API wasn't published, and we can see why it was not published. So clearly it says that V1 version 2.0 failed because API is not active, and hence it could not be published. So we can view the synopsis of the published status from here. Also, we can download the detailed report and um, get the exact information. So from the portal page now, we can view all the APIs. So if we have created the APIs nicely, meaning we have created proper tagging of the APIs, or we have created them with proper description, grouping, classification, etc. All the information will be shown over here. So for example, for some of the APIs, I have added some description. So from this view page, I can see what this API is meant for. And if I click on, let's say, calculator V1, it will give me other details like what are the different methods, what type of API it is, what are these different methods, what are the associated policies. Um, API documentation, it's like the specification of the API, either Swagger or WSDL will be enclosed in this zip. If I think I also talked about attaching like a custom file to define the API functionality, what this API is meant to do, etc. So from this documentation section, we can attach a release note or a README or about the API kind of documents, and all of that will be visible here. We can download it, or we can see online, like from this synopsis view, what this API is meant to do. Also, if we are attaching the responses, mock responses, then or not mock responses, sorry, my mistake. If we have, I think for one of the APIs, I had attached some sample request and responses. Can't remember which one, but if we have given that information in the API, be this one. Okay, no sample outputs are present. So this way we can view the request and response specification, what are the input and output parameters. And also at the same time, if we have the sample request responses are attached, we can view them on the gateway. Now, once an API is published from gateway to the portal, APIs will show a symbol like this, indicating that it has been published, and at the same time, this republish and unpublished symbols will be activated. So if I'm now making some changes in the API, so anything that we change in the API for, especially for description or policy actions, etc. So we have to republish the API so that the latest API details are all available on the portal. If we want to retract some APIs, we can always hit this unpublished button and then it will be removed from the portal view. So now on the API gallery page of this developer portal,
Excuse me, what about
yes,
the disable a service? If I disable the service and I didn't do unpublish from the gallery, it will automatically reflect it to the portal, the developer portal.
it will actually, okay, so it will actually tell you that this is already published to portal. So it will ask you to first still want to, if you want to still go and deactivate it. So what will happen is the information will still be on the portal page, but when somebody tries to use the API, it will fail. So you can still deactivate it, but the information will remain on the portal page.
Okay.
Just that API gateway will give you a warning message saying this is already published to portal, if you really want to deactivate this API or not. Even after deactivation, let's say like you have forgotten to unpublish it from the API portal or I mean from the portal. So even after deactivation, you can unpublish it from the portal. So that will be possible. But at the time of deactivation, if it is already published, it will throw an error, not error, just a warning message saying what will be whether or not you want to publish. Another thing, like we might have created the APIs and enabled them on both HTTP and HTTPS protocol, and hence the API gateways are showing both the HTTP and HTTPS port information to invoke this API. However, and like we can enforce, like whenever some this API is tested from portal, the request should always come on HTTPS port. So what will happen is after we do this, portal will enforce that this API is always tested using HTTPS, and also this which one? Get JDoc. Also on the portal page, we will just see this information. Only the port 3, the HTTP port will be seen. So if you are using load balancer and of course your server information will be abstracted. At the same time, you can not disclose what is the HTTP port to your end consumers. So that's all about making the connection work from gateway to portal and how we can publish the APIs on the portal. Now, right now it's like only 8 APIs or even lesser. Yeah, 7 APIs are present. So we can view all of them together. But imagine if you have like hundreds of APIs present. So how easily you can search them. So we for that we can if we can always do a keyword search. So if we type some keywords here, so it will show which are the APIs related to, let's say, OAuth. So either a get OAuth token API or like login and hello is also using OAuth API. So all will be listed here. We can take help of advanced search, or we can use this search option, add slicer option to search an API. So if we know about the API name, sorry, not here, sorry, this is for search, adding the slicer. So yeah, so we can search the APIs based on these parameters. So we can say name all, or then contains a text called OAuth. So only OAuth will be shown. So we can add different slices. And as you can see, like we can search based on the API's maturity status or business term categories, tags, types, etc. So all this information we can define at the time of API creation. So on day one, I was this is Hello World P1. Yeah. On day one, I was showing you that we can add different groupings and tags here. So they become very useful for searching an API. So we can, at any point of time, we can add them, if not added already at the time of creation. We can add them and republish, and using those tags we can do a quick search of the API. So this is all about like how we can search the APIs. And also, as you can see, like these APIs provide kind of like, this is developer portal is kind of a collaboration platform. So if like an user is accessing this portal to view this API, or to try this API. Later, he or she can like rate the API. So, how many stars out of 5, or can start following the API, so that any change that is happening to this API will be notified to the user. So follow, unfollow is possible, and it will show which users are following this API. Also, since this is like a community, so can post any message, can suggest improvement options, or if any issues he has faced, or can, like our normal any tech forums, or like that. So how we can post uh, screenshots or messages, etc. So all of these are possible to do. So by hitting on this add post topic. So basically, this is like a kind of an online social networking platform for APIs. Now, while this is good, so next thing that while all these features are nice, next thing that we need to consider is how we can allow users to come and log into this to this platform. So for that, API Gateway allows something called user onboarding feature is there. Now, user onboarding feature comprises of two activities. One is creating users for your own team. So the administrator or for example, MOE dev team can manage this portal page, and hence we can create relevant user IDs on this page. So if like Gateway, developer portal can also be integrated with LDAP. So from where is this? Administration, we can integrate with LDAP for our internal users. So all internal users can log into this portal using their LDAP or enterprise account IDs. In If not, then we can always create local users from local users under this option. So we can create, let's say, an API consumer user one who will be, or API provider user one who will be responsible for managing all the APIs, etc. So this is meant for, so whenever we say user onboarding, so user onboarding, what we are configuring here locally by an admin or by an admin like user are all for our internal users. So maybe your development team members or someone from your enterprise, etc., can be connected here. Now, we cannot control the external users, so we have to give them a facility to log in. So, like for Gmail or Twitter account, we always have an sign in option, so we can self onboard ourselves to those platforms. So, similarly, on developer portal also, we can have self user onboarding, self onboarding feature. I mean, the feature is available here. So before we start user onboarding, we can alongside configure different approval workflows. And tag them to this just a second. See where it is created. Yeah. So we can, forget about the previous screen. So this is the user onboarding workflow. We can enable workflows for users who are self onboarding themselves. So the advantage is at least we can know who are these users, and at the time of onboarding, we can implement like either approval based onboarding, or we can implement email verification. So normally the users use their personal or professional emails to log into the portal. So we can say like we will turn on email verification. So like how you get an email verification link to your registered email ID, and you click verify email link, and by that you get your email verified. So same thing can be implemented here. So if we want to implement those kind of workflows, we can always do so from administrator and onboarding option. And we can also define internal workflows, meaning someone has to be ready to approve this workflows. Now, if we want to implement internal approval workflow, for that, we have to configure certain approval workflows here beforehand. So let's say I want to create an user onboarding approval workflow. So this workflows have to be created beforehand. We tag them or apply them to the onboarding process. So for creating the workflows, we have to just define, since this is like an internal workflow, we can say like who is the approver. I mean, we can add approval steps. So we can say like either a particular user group or maybe administrator user alone will be able to do the approval. So if the users and groups are pre-created, we can select from this drop down. And then what is the approval mode? Whether anyone from the group or everyone from the group can approve this requirement. And if we click on add, it will say like anyone from this API administrator group can do the approval. So this is like for internal approval. So now we can tag this approval workflow to this internal approval requirement or this feature, this strategy actually, and say like onboarding workflow will be added or will be triggered whenever a user is trying to self onboard. Similarly, and then we can decide to which community the user will be tagged to. So by default, we can say like all users onboarded this way will be initially tagged to the public community. Similarly, when users are requesting for application creation or subscription, so that time also we can enable certain workflows. So let me save this first, and let me develop another workflow. So workflows here, they do not do, I mean, they do not do much, just that we have to just add and assign relevant users who can who can approve this kind of incoming request. Um, So again, I can select user equal to administrator and um, add to it and then save it. So under onboarding, I can also tag that whenever user request for an application registration, we can this workflow will be kicked off. So after like user request for application creation, additionally, we can trigger another workflow, whether also for registering the APIs, we need this workflow or not. I mean, we need some kind of validation and approval or not. So this is sufficient. We can save this configuration. Another thing is that we can set priority to this onboarding strategies. So we can move this email verification to the top. Okay, we have to enable it and then move to the top so that whenever this user is trying to onboard, first the email verification step will be executed. Once the email verification step is successfully executed, then only the internal approval workflow will kick in. So we can decide the order in which the such workflows will be triggered. I do not exactly know how this external approval works. I mean, I do not know how to kick this. Maybe for this external approval, it is kind of like it can trigger a different workflow, which is outside of developer portal and API gateway scope. So it may so happen that if we select external approval, it can take the requester to the a different UI, or can kickstart another, maybe a Pega workflow or something like that. Uh, so if we have that level of customization available, then probably we can use this external workflow. But otherwise, if we want to fall back on the developer portal's capabilities, then these are the two things we configured. Also, along with the workflow configuration, we can define different user templates. So email templates. So we can set some approval result that to say this email will be triggered at the time when somebody has approved the application request or user onboarding request. So they all are appearing in the HTML format, and these syntaxes are like developer portals internal, like the meta information that it stores. So using this symbol, we can access those information. These templates can be customized, or if you want to use them as is, we can use them. For approval workflow, when approval workflow kicks in, it can trigger some emails if the email server is configured. So from SMTP configuration, we can connect developer portal to an email server. And if we also have like emails configured, so at the time of workflow kick in, the emails will be sent to the relevant users who are supposed to review and approve the request. If emails are not configured, the pending approval or the approval request will appear here as a notification for both requester and approver, and also the approver can see all this information from this page called pending approval page. So all these are now set. So let me log in or sign in to this portal using my enterprise's email ID. So I'm gonna create this user ID password. I hope. So there is no password restriction set. So I can also to sign up actually. So it will by default say that I should receive an email stating what is my account details, etc. Since there are no email server configured here, so I'm not receiving such emails. So now I can log into this portal, and when I log in, I will just see this view because I have already been tagged to my uh, uh, already tagged to this public community. So everything is ready for me to view. It's strange that it did not wait for. Yeah. So, when I log in immediately after my account is created, I would still be able to view and everything, but there will be some features missing, which will be available to me only when somebody approves my onboarding request. So I can So I will not be, so let's first approve this request and then I will show you what are the different say. So now that I have created a user under public community, and since all these APIs are available in public community, so I am not, I can view them all, but in order to do some rate, comment posting and all, I won't be able to do so until someone approves my request for, my user onboarding request. So let me log in back as an administrator. So now I can see that this notification has come to my bucket saying requester is waiting for my approval. So I can directly click from here or can view the pending approvals, go to pending approval screen and can see that this user onboarding is pending. So select and approve. So So once selected, now it will say a notification that this user has been approved. So if I now log in back as I now got full features of full access to this gallery to developer portal. I can now post some comments. Also, I can see what are my applications. I can view some dashboards, etc. So dashboard view will give me my API usage pattern, and then I can track how what APIs I'm using. Then their status is like successfully executed or any error occurred. So all these features will now be available to me. At the same time, if plans and packages are already present, those will be also available to me. Now, as an API as a consumer, now I can start requesting for or can try the APIs. So now I can hit this try API option and can request for application creation for me to test. Now, similar to user onboarding process on the portal side, we can also, like we have already turned on the application registration. Now on the gateway side, this is something I did not show you so far. So on the gateway side, I can also configure similar workflows to say like when application is created, or somebody is requesting for application creation, I have to have some means to verify whether or not the application can be, this request can be approved, and hence API Gateway can create the application. So from this administrator approval configuration option, we can enable these workflows are pre-created, so we can enable any such option. So we can say like approver is administrator, and on approval, configure approval, initiate request email template, which will be sent to the approver via emails. I can also customize the email body. Same time, I can send notifications to my requester upon approval or rejection. So I'll just select these two flows. So one is for application creation and the second one is for registration. Registration is whenever this API, after application creation, we map an API to the application. That step is called application registration. So we can, okay, let me configure this. And I'm configuring both these workflows here. Now let's go back to the developer portal, and I have logged in as this user. So now I want to create an application for trying the API. So I can say, like I can fill this information saying like what should be my application name. And this way I can save the application request. Now on the administrator's portal view, if I log in back as administrator, it will notify me that this particular request has this particular user has requested for application creation, and I can see now that this request is pending for my approval. So I can select and approve this workflow, approve this request. If I now go back to my portal view and log in as my normal user, mm, I can see this application has been created, but it has been it is in inactive stage, and it is saying that application request is waiting for third party approval, and it says like at which stage the activity is. So it says that the portal administrator has completed the approval process. However, and the request has been submitted to the gateway. However, it is waiting at the gateway stage for further processing. So now on the gateway, from my pending request page, I will see that this request has come to me. So I can view the details like which request, which user has asked for this application creation and what API name, etc. And I can approve it by selecting approve. So immediately the view will change here. Go back and open. It will still say that this is waiting for gateway's approval. So I believe that is so because on the gateway side, I have also configured the application registration workflow. So after I have approved the application creation, now it is waiting for me to approve this registration. So this particular application we can now be used for calling this Hello World API. So I can approve this request as well. So once approved from my portal page, I will get a notification that my API has been, sorry, my application uh, has been published and it is ready for my use. So I'll see that application status has now become live, meaning I can use this application, and I can also view what is the API key, what is, if I want to use OAuth tokens, what will be my client ID, secret. Similarly, like for JWT token, this is the claim set that I have to pass, and also this is the API I can use. Now, using this information, I can try this API. So let me go to the API page itself. So now I can try API and I can select the authorization scheme. So I can say like API key, and I can define some resource body here. Yeah, let's say I want to. So this is sufficient. I can, so authorization is set, and now let's send the request and I'll get a response back, which is like the status, the response message. Similarly, I can decide to test the OAuth 2 token, and I can no, I have to use the correct scope. What was the scope name? So if I want to use the token, I think it was have to check the application what to see. But point is like if I can first request the token. Let me try JWT. Create new token. Yeah, I can select like request for the token or this way, like if the claim information is given to me, so I can request for the token and then use the token downstream to test this API. So this way I can verify the API to see whether it is returning all the necessary information, check the API, etc. Also like what is the header body, header element, what coming back along with this request. So now, so I'm like, this is how we can allow the consumers to quickly test the API from the gateway based on their um, based on their the different authentication, etc. Parameters. Now, this API is available for free. So now on the gateway side, we can decide to create plans and packages for this API or a set of APIs, and we can publish this information back to the portal. Hence, the consumer will come to know about such subscription plan and they can subscribe to it and can start using it. So whenever we want to create a plan or create a package for an API, we start by creating a plan first. So plans are like we define, let's say for example, we can define silver, gold, and platinum plans, and can attach some monetary value along with, I mean, to these plans. So let me create a gold plan, which will say that field value description. The main important thing is pricing. So let's say I want to charge 100 USD for this plan, and terms I can specify what is the usage term, what is the license condition, etc. And then important is to define quality of service. So in this quality of service, we can define that rate limits and some quota. So rate limits is like maximum request count. Let's say 500 request count can be sent over an hour, and anytime this condition is breached, there will be an alert raised, and we can send the information back to or raise an alert to the consumer saying that they have breached this quota. So we can set an alert message like this. You have So now if we are combining multiple APIs under this plan, then we can say like all this 5,000 over 60 minutes will be for all APIs that are covered by this plan. Similarly, we can set an quota. So again, like I can say maximum 5,000 request quota for six within 60 minutes of interval, and I can block the user upon breaching this quota and say like your at the same time, I can send some notification to the application to the consumer. So with that, I can save this plan now. So plan is defined and I can see this is the rate limit and quota been assigned. Now, after creating a plan, now I can create a package or more packages for this plan. So in this package creation, I can associate the APIs with the plan. So I will say like Hello World Gold package. Um, so in this one, I can select in the package configuration, I can select what is my plan, and then I can add the Hello World APIs to it. So let's say I want to also add Hello World V1 SOAP API. So now my package is created that says like this package will cover these two APIs using this gold plan, and the gold plan says like pay us or I have to pay $100 per month. By paying so, I can send maximum of 5,000 requests in an hour for both these two APIs. And if I breach the this quota limit, um, um, this is like the rate limit. I will get an alert saying that I have reached this or breached this, exceeded this rate. Also, if I'm breaching, I can have some quota set. If I'm breaching this, my access will be blocked. So now I'm ready to. So this package is ready. So we can we can um, uh, publish this package information to the gateway. So we can first enable the package, and then we can publish it to the portal. So now from the developer portal, I can see that this package, this is my normal user login. I can see this API package got created. And I can see these are the associated API, which are covering these, which are covered by this plan. And this is the plan detail. Also, the same view can be, if I go to the Hello World API, I can see what is the associated package for this API. So if the user, being an user, now I can subscribe to this plan. Now, upon subscription, let's say I give this name, Hello World. So I just have to give a name for this subscription, and I can save it to save the subscription. Now I will see that another application request for this subscription has been created, and it is in inactive stage because it is awaiting approval request from the third party. The approval is pending. So I can see that developer portal approval is pending. So let me log in back as administrator. So from the administrator view, I can see that this request is pending, because whenever we are creating a subscription, or whenever someone is requesting a subscription, that in the backend triggers the application creation, and hence this application creation request workflow got kicked in, which requires approval. So I can request this, I can approve this request. At the same time, on the gateway side, on the gateway side, I will see that uh, there is also some request waiting for my approval. Just notice that this is requested by portal user, because application creation is always triggered by the user that we have configured for the API gateway to portal connection, and vice versa. So I can see the details of this request, and I can simply approve it. Immediately I think I'll get another request this time. No request. So already application is, let me just double check. So now on the portal page, let me log out and sign in as my normal user. So I'll see that this application is ready. Similarly, like before, I'll see all the all users are created. Now I'm subscribing to this plan, and I can start using this details for calling the or using the API. Now, on the gateway side, so far we saw like we are triggering application creation from the portal, but we did not take a look at the application. How do they look like? So if I go to the application page now, I will see like this was the first application that was created from try API option by the portal user. And so this looks like a normal user. So it will have this kind of information like who is the owner. Although portal user has given me or I mean requested or triggered this application creation, but it will also say for which portal user which this application request was created, and all the other details. Now, whenever like an application is created for subscription, it appears on the application page with a slightly different symbol. So this dollar sign and a tick mark says that this application was created for this owner, and because the owner has subscribed to the plan. So it will give all the information like which is the API and all, and also some additional information. Okay, we can always add some additional information after this application is created. So by looking at this symbol, we can see whether or not it is like a normal application, or it has got created via the subscription. Now I can like as an gateway administrator, I can decide to disable the normal application, the previously requested application, so that user can start now using only this subscription keys and all. This can be done to ensure, because if we keep this normal application enabled, the user may misuse that application for actual consumption, and in that way we will be losing money, because they are still using that free subscription or free access to call the APIs even for their actual purpose, and they are not using the API via the subscription plan. So as a gateway admin, I can decide. So these like right now it is I have access to both the tools and number of requests are very low, so we can do this kind of checks. But we can develop further, like on top of all this, we can develop like a better workflow management to keep this two tools in sync to see what application should be used from now on and what can be disabled, etc. So now I can also do the try API, and this time only be able to use this Hello World subscription. So if I still try to use the Hello World, the old application API key, request 40. This time, API gateway will not cater to this request. Rather, I will get either the an unauthorized or forbidden. So this type of error message will be returned to me. But it is what I can see it copy. So it will return me this kind of an error message saying this that API is currently this application is currently suspended. So I'm kind of enforcing the user to use the I mean always use the key from the subscription plan. So if I now hit this send, so I'm now getting a proper response. Maybe an error response, but now I'm able to call this API. So this way we can control the user's plan and subscription. So if now, let me reduce the package quota. Let me try to simulate that breach scenario also. So I will see edit. You are editing an active plan, the following. Okay, let's see if we can do this. So I'll reduce it to 2 requests in 1 second of in 1 minute of interval, and also I'll reduce the quota to 1 and let's say 1 minute. So anytime after a plan or a package has been activated and published, if we are changing this, so we have to again publish this, republish it, republish the plan for it to take effect on the portal. So now on the portal side, I can see if I go to the related package, the information has changed. So now I have to like subscribe to this plan again, and for this to start working. What will happen if I don't do that? Says already. Okay, let me try to call the API to see if it is working without yeah, it will. Yeah, so it will immediately kick in because now it is saying that I have reduced the quota limit and all. It will say my access is blocked because I have breached the quota. So immediately I will get this 429 too many request and this error will come. So this is what happens when a consumer is breaching the quota and while while subscribing to a plan. And also like I'm limiting all this API call, etc., from this portal. In real case, after a consumer is subscribing to a plan, the consumer can, or the actual application has to call the API from their client application. I mean, it makes sense because this is just for viewing and trying the APIs. Your client application will not come to this portal to trigger the API. So always you have to embed this API call in the client application. And since the consumer is on a plan, so anytime he tests this API using this from here, means it will get added to its to its overall rate or quota limit. And so why waste the API calls when you are on plan? So always like the consumer has to now embed this API call to the client application. So that's all in nutshell about how developer portal work and how we can integrate with API gateway, and how we can facilitate user onboarding, and once onboarded, what features the user get in order for viewing the API information, trying the API, and if the API is monetized, what we will need to do to create the API monetization plan, and then how an user can subscribe to that plan, and also like how the plan hard limits are applied to an user in case of a breach. So with that, I mean, there is really nothing more to talk about developer portal at this point, because I mean, developer portal is all about this feature, so which we have just covered. So let me know. I am the only person talking for last 1.5 hours. So we have covered developer portal and all relevant features that are worked in conjunction with API gateway, and this way we can make the two things work. So let me know if you have any questions on developer portal, or anything that additionally you want to ask me.
Okay. For the rate limit about on the plans, um, um, if I define a policy inside the gateway and adding the API inside a plan, or creating a plan with a different policy, like rate limit or quota limit, which policy it will be affected with the consumer? Yeah, which one it
Okay.
is?
See, inside the API, you cannot. Okay, let me go to the API view first. So, so see, this API has got so because this API is covered by this plan, so now I can see this policy got applied to this API. Now there can be normal consumers who are also consuming to this API, so I can implement. So if the consumer has not subscribed to this, first thing, if the consumer has not subscribed to this plan, meaning they will not be limited by this rate or quota limits, so they can seamlessly use it. Only the consumers who are using this API via this plan subscription, for them this rate and quota limit will be applicable. That is number one thing. The second thing is, suppose I have added a similar rate quota limit for this for normal consumers. Now, when we are applying this traffic optimization or any other policies here, remember that only traffic optimization sets a hard limit because it can prevent. Okay, let me add the traffic optimization. It will prevent the request from going to the API and to further to the backend. So if this policy is applied, this will be applicable to all my normal consumer which are not covered or which are not subscribed to the plan. So I can so if both are present, one, I mean the same policy action, one coming from the plan and one normally applied, so only consumers using this plan will be covered by this one, the one that got created by the subscription. If the consumer is not subscribed to any plan, so then the normal traffic optimization will be applied. So there is really not any precedence given between the two. It depends on the nature of the consumer.
That means a policy which is created by default when this API is set to a set of a specific plan. It is a conditional policy based on the consumer or the subscribers. And if
Exactly.
this API it's already part of like basic and gold and unlimited plan, or should be here three traffic or optimization policy related to each plan, and based on the subscription of the user, the policy it will be reflected. That's it.
Yeah. Okay,
So
I got your point. Let me just quickly show you. I think what you are meaning is, for example, if I have in my plan, I have defined like an unlimited call for this API. However, if I have this traffic optimization available here, then what will be applicable? So because quota plan says unlimited call, so let me see. Good point. I haven't tested that. So one thing is that I have an option when I'm defining this traffic optimization policy locally to an API. I always have an option to select to which consumer it can be applied. So despite this subscription, I can always say like any consumer, which means that even my subscribed users will be affected by this policy. Now, ethically, I should not do that because they have paid me some money to get an unlimited call feature for this API. So in that case, I can take I can be cautious in terms of identifying which other consumers can be covered by this policy. So I can decide not to include my subscribed. So this is like the Hello World Gold Plan is the subscription application. So I can choose not to include this and keep other keep other applications in this policy action. So now what will happen is my plan. Let me change the plan again. Um,
can you add other plan like the gold and the unlimited one, or the gold basic, and try
okay,
to
I
make,
can.
yes.
Okay, let me first. I need to create a plan first. So no rules I'm adding because it is an unlimited call. Keep it the plan package and let's publish it. Let's first view what is the
I think there will not be change because only
no, I
one
have
plan
not.
has rule. Other one doesn't have any rule. So there is will not be inject policy inside here, right?
No. Let me. First of all, it hasn't been subscribed by anyone. So let me first
Uh,
try to subscribe to it.
I think this policy configuration is not related to user, but it's related to package and the plan itself, right? Because not every user, when he subscribe, it will create a policy for the user.
Sorry, can you please come again?
The policy creation regarding the plan setting or the subscription setting, it created
Hmm?
per the plan and the package. It is not created by the registration of the user application.
No, see, somebody has to subscribe to this plan, then only this will be effective. My idea is unless there is a subscriber for this platinum plan, this is just hanging in there without being implemented to the API. So let me subscribe to it. First, let's see what is the change to go through this whole approval process. Okay, so far, Hello World Platinum plan has come, but it is waiting for my approval. And what is the API view? Okay. So you are saying because it has got no rules, so that is why it won't be seen here.
I think there is no policy inside or no rating added to the subscription, so it is not injecting any policy inside the API.
Okay, okay. So what if I add some? Let me give like a really big number. Okay, because now I have which one? Yeah, it is now appearing here. Hello World Platinum Plan. Okay. So unlimited call means that we really have to give a huge number. Okay. Yeah, you were correct. Unless I'm defining a rule there, this policy won't be applicable over here. But once it is applicable and once it is being subscribed by someone, so then for them, this policy will be kicked in if they are using the authentication or the key related to the subscription plan. If they are using the other subscription key, then this rule will be kicked in. And for normal users, the other rule will be kicked in. So in this normal user, so I can always select or say like uh, yeah, so I can always include even the subscribed user if I really want to put a hard limit, which will be applicable to all. So even though they can have unlimited calls, etc., but at the end they will be limited by the number I am setting here, by the request count I am setting here. Uh, you agree with me or?
Yes, I get. But can you go to edit for this policy? Which
Hmm?
one's it? Edit is the last one. Can we
And
check
add
the yes
any?
the condition of applications? So a consumer application, my app one, my app two. No, don't change anything here.
Okay.
The first two, yeah, in the graph, in the diagram, the first two, it is related to the subscription, right?
Yes. This
Okay,
symbol relates to.
okay,
Hmm.
can you select one of them? I need to check the difference between the creation of both of them.
But
Uh,
this cannot be edited from here. We can only have a view
you
of
see,
this.
like if you see this consumer application, any consumer, and if you go to the other one also, to if you select the other one, any consumer, and if you go to
Hmm.
the custom, which we already added by internally here, it's you're allowed to add the consumer the consumer application. It is
Hmm.
not for anyone. So anyone, يعني, how he can identify the subscription information here. يعني there is no setting inside the policy
Yeah,
that
so it will be identified by the key related to this subscription. So see, whenever you are hovering over this option, it says that this policy is effect or applied by this particular plan, and hence whenever a subscription key meaning the particular API key or OAuth credentials or JWT token requested from this particular from requested by the application linked to this particular plan, only then this policy will be triggered. Now it makes sense that it is saying consumer application equal to any consumers, because this is first of all a read-only view, and we cannot be sure which all consumers are being part of this subscription plan. So okay, you can say like we this view should also show like which are the consumers subscribing to this plan, and then their corresponding application should be listed here instead of any consumers. Yeah, that should probably would give you more clarity. But any consumers means like whoever the applications subscribing to this particular plan, this policy will be applicable only to them. I think, yeah, I can understand where you are coming from. When it says any consumer, it is slightly misleading, saying that it is like it is applicable for any consumer that is calling this application. But underlying, it is any consumer who is subscribing to this plan, and they are calling this API using the particular identifier assigned to them for this. Plan subscription. Does it?
Yes, I understand now. Type. Other thing,
But
where is this configuration and is this setting hosted inside the integration gateway, and how we can move our configuration from staging to production, as we already implementing this with the UI, not
mm,
it is not from the designer and there is no packaging. How
yeah, yeah.
this configuration should moved and the subscription moved from environment to environment.
So, two things. First is that normal scenarios, we can uh, uh, only so all this monetization, etc., will be applicable in for my production or my real-time customers in production. So I can okay, let me take a step back. So I can develop this plans and all, and I can create like in my test or UAT environment, I can have a developer portal linked to this API gateway and can test all this, create all these plans, etc., and can test them. So now, when I'm ready to move this to the next environment, let's say I think I explained how the staging promotion management works. So from this promotion management, I can say like I want to move the APIs. I also want to move the packages and plans to my next environment. So not just packages and plans, but I can also like anything I can, any configuration
Okay.
created in this API gateway can be moved to the next stage. So I can specifically select these two APIs will be moved. And now if I know that this API has changed, I have recently changed the Hello World REST API because all this plan subscription got linked to it. So then I can select this sorry, this version 2.
Okay, using staging, we are able to export this package because
Hmm.
in UMI this the environment it is isolated, so we cannot
Hmm.
connect from environment to another environment.
Hmm.
Because this is isolation between staging, production, development. So also in the current implementation, we are using containerized container based deployment.
Hmm.
So I think we need to apply like build
Yeah.
configuration or this
So
XMLs files.
yes, yes, yes. So you were absolutely correct. So see, when we talk about API deployment or move all these assets, like anything, applications, plans, etc., plans, packages, APIs, etc., we have three options available. One is using a CI/CD method. Number two is using the promotion management of API gateway, and number three is using the export import feature. Now, let's talk about the promotion management first. So, if you want to use API Gateway's promotion management, first and foremost thing is you need to have connection or connectivity between your environments. What you just say is like dev should be able to connect to QA, QA should be able to connect to UAT, UAT should be able to connect to production. So that means that there has to be required firewall access open between your dev and QA or UAT to production, etc. So this is one of the prerequisite for using promotion management. Now, using promotion management, you can save lots of your development, CI/CD development effort and all, and you can have like a nice UI to select what APIs you are going to, or what assets you are going to deploy to the next environment. Now, one drawback of using this promotion management is if you have like really isolated environments where you are not supposed to connect your dev to the production or QA environment, then there is a problem. The second thing is using this promotion management, we can only push things to the next environment. By that, I mean that from here, I can push it to QA environment, or if I have UAT also configured here, I can push it to the UAT environment. Now, there is no pull mechanism available. So, for example, if I now want to move this API from, let's say this is my, let's consider this is my UAT environment, and I want to move something to production environment, which means that I have to configure production API gateway details in this environment. There is no option for me to configure like an UAT environment detail in the production API gateway, where from I can pull the assets. So this often is not agreed upon by many of the customers that it should allow me to select the asset and then decide to pull them in my current environment, rather go back to the lower version of the environment and start sending things from there. So promotion management, if there is no restrictions, I mean most of these restrictions come from the fact that we are creating isolations between the environments. So if no such restrictions is there, we can easily use promotion management. But if yes, then promotion management may not be a suitable option for you. So then the other two options, so CI/CD or this export import. Now CI/CD requires a little bit of development effort, because now you have to have, and also like proper tooling support, because you have to have at least a version control tool available in which you can dump all these API gateway assets, and on top of and use asset build environment to create proper builds for them. So in web methods term, we call them .acdl files. So once the ACDL files are ready, we can use web methods deployer to use those builds or the ACDL file to deploy to the next environment. So in this case, we have the flexibility that we can have a deployer for QA environment. We can have a deployer for the production environment. So build file, while the build file or the ACDL file can remain the same, we can use the QA deployer for QA deployment purposes. We can use the production deployer for production deployer purposes. So there is no configuration of production environment in QA deployer or QA environment in the production deployer. So the only limitation, I mean limitation as in like the only challenge is that you have to have a proper CI/CD flow available for this. If not, at least the proper tooling support, such as version control system, AB deployer, etc. And if you want to develop like a fully fledged CI/CD, then Jenkins or a similar tool. So these are all slightly time consuming but achievable, and also like the team should strictly abide to this the CI/CD for deploying the assets. The third option, which is most easy, is to extract everything in form of a zip and then move it to the other environment. So for example, I want to extract this plan information. So I can select the the plans, and I can click on export, and it will say like it will ask me to include this options, or it will give me this option to include this additional assets. So include subscription meaning it is asking me to include the applications that were created for this plan. So now I can get this zip file created. I can open this zip file to see. So since I have included the associated applications along with this packages, so now I have got the package configuration. There are two packages. So this is like the package's own configuration, and then there we have assigned some rate quota limit. So all these are included here. Similarly, we have the packages using this plan. So we have the plan details. Now, an application is using the package. So we have got the application names as well. And again, the applications, these are all registered applications. So we have got APIs that are linked to these applications. And since we are talking about APIs, so if APIs are using any sort of alias, so that will also get included. So now you see, like you wanted to just export packages, you can export multiple things along with this. So because like application is using OAuth, so all these strategies got linked to it. So we can see this export report, which will say like what got included in this export. Now I can use this zip file in my next environment and import the zip file as is. So at the time of import, let me first select this packages zip file. At the time of import, it gives me this few options like overwrite none, all, and custom. So none meaning if the the assets which I'm trying to import, if they are existing in the API gateway, so by selecting overwrite none, meaning they will not be overwritten. Okay, so they will nothing will be deployed. Then I have this option for overwriting all. This is kind of an force overwriting. So if something is pre-existing, I can forcefully overwrite them with the from the content of this zip file. And then I have this option of custom override. From here, I can select what exactly I want to import. So maybe I am interested in importing only the plans and the package configuration, and maybe the subscription. Where is it? Subscription. Not approval. Maybe this application and the registered application. So only this few I want to import. I don't want to import APIs and all. So I'm just giving you on one example. So I can select what to import, and based on that, I can click on import. Now, as you see that, okay, that's fine. Now, as you see, this involves little bit of human intervention, and also whoever is importing this archive has to be extra careful, because I tell you what normally happens. So because we have included the aliases, and let's say all the applications are included. Now I'm importing it from my lower environment. Okay. So alias will point to my lower environment's endpoint details. Applications will have their, let's say, dev or QA environments, application key, or the auth credentials. So if you are just simply forcefully overriding everything, then you will be at risk of resetting your production configuration using that of your non-prod environment. Okay, so So that is why, like import and export, it is very simple to use, but it brings risks of, I mean, it introduces risks, elements of risk of overwriting some of the configurations with your non-prod environments configuration. So while, I mean, these are all manual actions, so we have to be very careful in terms of what we actually want to export and what we can import on the target environment. So these are the three possible options available. So depending on whichever is most suitable for your use case, for meeting all your security and other requirements, you can implement that. So did I answer your question?
Yes, but for the second scenario, where I get this CIDL, I C D L, what is the extension?
CI/CD,
Yes, this is
continuous
as
continuous
and
improvement.
attaches this files with the source control. Yeah, because it is inside the deployed version of the gateway.
So CI/CD is completely a customized solution. So you have to build a CI/CD solution for API gateway. So I cannot give you a demo now, but yeah. So you need to speak with your project team to understand how CI/CD solutions can be implemented for your for API gateway deployments.
Okay. Okay. So what about the part of customizing the or branding to the developer portal?
Yeah, so developer portal branding is possible. So basically, there are different branding solutions available if you want to rebrand or use your organization's logo. So there are backend CSS files available. There are some standard CSS that we need to enhance in order for changing the logos or the description, etc. So that is also possible to do. So often, like we can change the theme, we can change the color code font, we can change the logo. So they are all kept in the developer portals. Inside developer portals, we have certain a set of developers collection. I need to, I don't remember exactly where this plus this is a developer portal. So hopefully in, yeah, I cannot tell you right away what is the exact CSS, but yeah, definitely customization is possible and we can change this, the logo and font and color coding, etc. That is like a normal requirement. We should be able to do that. Also, like if you want to further customize, like just use the core features of developer portal, but don't want to use developer portal as a tool. So you can always use these APIs that developer portal. Oh, source will have, yeah, source I think will have the just a second, components gallery. Somewhere I saw the yeah, okay, sorry, got diverted. So developers portal, so all this feature that we tried from the UI, can be used via their so these are all like APIs. So we can use this developer portal API collection. So we can import it in Postman or any such tool to see what are the available APIs and can if you are really want to do a complete create a similar application like developer portal where from you want to control all this user onboarding, approval workflow, etc. So you can take help of, you can define your UI, and then from that UI you can call these APIs to achieve that particular functionalities. That particular functionality. So this API is available. Also, like there are open APIs, so you can download this collection to Postman and view what are these APIs. Now, similar to developer portal, even for API gateway, we have this kind of APIs available. So instead of using the web UI feature, you can call these APIs for achieving some of the functionalities. Especially they are useful if you want to, like, let's say in your old tool you have if the old tool is also like webMethods API gateway, we can always take help of the migration feature or the export import feature to move all the assets. But let's say you have like a different product altogether, and you want to migrate all the API gateway users migrate all the users from that product to API gateway. So you can take help of the API gateway APIs. So API gateway also exposes all the APIs. For example, this user management Swagger, it has like a collection of APIs using which you can do a bulk export of all the users. So you can create a custom script maybe and provide the usernames in a list format, and from this then call this API to create users taking from that list, or maybe define the create a request which will be capable of handling this array of user, and then trigger the user creation on the target gateway. So anything that you want to customize or you want to build a custom solution around API gateway and developer portal, you can do so by using this APIs. So remember, whatever you are capable of doing from the web UI of developer portal or API gateway, similar feature or functionality can be achieved by using the REST APIs. Now, the only complication using REST API is that creation is all fine because we are first time creating some new assets, but when you further update the asset, now for every when I exported this, okay, I think I closed it. So API gateway, when it stores this assets, it assigns some particular ID against it, and API gateway internally identifies an asset by that ID. So it may, you may need to use 2-3 different APIs to finally identify what the asset that you want to update or export or import likewise. So, yeah, always using this or using this REST APIs may not be very straightforward all the time. So you need to explore what you want to extract, and accordingly you need to form the API request.
So through this API, we can make integration between the developer portal or the gateway and any internal financial application regarding the customers, monetization, for the billing and other or payment or other stuff like this, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
normally what is done is the this usage
Be-
report is extracted and then given to the other financial application, as you said, for billing and payment.
Reported. لا, but we can from this API export and make integration, right? Between the applications and the data inside the
Yeah. So what
Sure.
I mean is like this information is extracted. Normally we give this API or we can customize this API and give it to the other financial or the applications.
Yeah.
They can call the API to extract, let's say, the usage detail for a particular application. They can extract that information directly from API gateway or portal and can, based on that, they can do the billing and
Okay.
accept
So
payments.
can you go back to the API dashboards, the API gateway?
Gateway dashboard, okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
anything particular.
This analytics is related to yeah, different parts, right? How we can make this customized? If I try to do something like I need to get the number of TPS or how the API number of transaction per second the API gateway can serve in is average or through specific range of time. I need how the transaction per second can be served by the API gateway. I cannot find any parameters or filters related to this information. How we can customize the dashboard to get a
Um,
specific metrics from the gateway.
So for there, okay, from 10.11, I think it allows to customize dashboard like additional to all the predefined graphs and all. You can create your own views and the kind of data you want to extract. I think for that we have to take help of the transaction API, the backend API to generate that kind of report. I don't think there is a straightforward way of getting that information. If we want to get that information, we can, let's say, we can call that. So this transaction API of Gateway can be used to get that customized information. One thing I cannot, so this transactional event API, that is what I'm saying. So from here, we can get the transactional event count per API, and from there we can segregate like what is the transactional event. If I mean, will that include error event and non? So based on that, we can do further customization, further logic written to extract the exact per second or per minute count. And also like this can be further extended. So instead of API, now I want to get a view for a consumer. So a consumer, so we can call the application API to first identify or get the consumer information, and then consumer will be mapped to certain set of APIs. Then for each of the APIs, we can use transactional event API to get the per minute or per count. So we have to really build some custom solution around that to get that kind of report.
Okay.
So it is possible, just that we have to explore all the APIs to see what they are returning. I have not tried customizing this dashboard, so I really cannot say what. So build, I think it is only usage details. I'm not sure. Oh, these are deleting. No, no, no. So I think this will only create visualization. I'm not sure if we can, what you are expecting to do, if they can be, that can be done from here as well. I mean, that can save us some implementation time. I have not tried it. Maybe you can request your development team to give you an option whether or not it can be created this way.
Yes, I've tried actually to explore this metrics and this component, the predefined component, but I didn't get the KPIs.
Also, these
Okay.
are like this is nothing but Kibana. So maybe we can take help of Kibana documentation to see how this dashboard. Honestly speaking, I haven't tried customizing any dashboard here. I have some idea how to create like a time view of the events and all on Kibana itself, but I'm not sure exactly the same way we can do. And if the particular information you are looking at look that per second or per minute transaction count, if those are available right away.
Okay.
So probably some customization will be needed, unfortunately.
Maybe yes, it's not like actually it is maybe it's not straightforward customization.
Hmm.
Okay.
So I am nearly done. No, not nearly done. Actually, I'm done explaining all the topics that I have chosen for this session for this 5 days. So we have plenty of time left. So if you want me to brush up any of the topics we have discussed, we can I can do so, or any other questions or clarifications related to architecture or API gateways feature. If you want to ask me, I'm more than happy to answer that. We haven't taken a quick break, so I leave it to you if you want to take a break or you want to finish the session early, or continue discussing other topics.
From my side, nothing to discuss, but yeah, for the last time about this app mesh, actually I explored the setting of the the license. I didn't contact sales yet, but I checked the configuration for my license for the license they provide. There is an app mesh setting inside the XML. It is mentioned no.
Hmm.
Um, but I found something else. His name is Mesh Zone, next generation. In
No,
the
Mash
license which we
Zone.
have, Mesh Zone. Yes, Mesh Zone.
Yeah,
It is not
Mash
Mesh.
is Mash Zone is a completely different tool altogether. So Mash Zone is kind of for creating dashboards and mostly used for process BPM processes. So Mash Zone is a completely different tool altogether. You probably have got perpetual license, which allows you to use Mash Zone, or maybe for reporting purposes, Mash Zone has been separately sold to MOE. But that doesn't control the app mesh feature. So app mesh feature, if you are seeing that it is disabled for you, for example, for me, it is yes. So so app mesh is selected as yes. So that is why I suggested you please speak with your sales team
Yeah.
for a clarification why it is selected as no.
Yes,
Because as
okay.
as I showed in the beginning that it not even included. I
Yeah.
mean,
Like,
once I am installing micro gateway, do you have a separate micro gateway license?
yes. No, just a minute. Yes, microservice runtime and the micro
Micro,
gateway. Micro gateway,
micro
microservice runtime.
gateway.
Yeah.
Can you please check if there is anything there for app mesh in micro gateway license? I'll check from my side also.
No, there is nothing related to the admission side with micro gateway.
Okay, so for me also, there is nothing specified. So yeah, I really cannot help you.
No, no
I do
problem,
not.
no problem. I just get this confused about this mesh next generation and mesh and
Yeah. Yeah, I do not fully understand always the licensing model. So maybe someone from the project delivery team can help you with this.
thank you very much.
I will inform Natarajan that you are facing this issue or you have a question on this licensing thing. So maybe he will reach out to you for further help.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Nice. So, anything from anyone else? If you want to share anything, share your experience, or maybe any questions that if you have any specific questions, so we can discuss them now. Or if we want to go on a break and then come back and then continue further discussion on something else, we can do so as well.
For me, I done today, so I don't know, Yazid, have anything to ask about? Yazid, Yazid seems like have a problem with his mic.
Okay.
Okay.
If nothing, we can really finish our session early today and do a quick start of the weekend, early start of the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very
I
much.
really, I
Yeah.
really appreciate all of you. After like a long day at work, you are sitting through this session for 4 hours. I really appreciate your patience and your interest in this topic. So, I mean, that's why you are spending additional 4 hours every day to know about this. So, thank you for your
Yes. Yes.
interest and participation.
Yeah. Thank you also for your patience for يعني, answering our questions. Maybe it seems like it's easy questions, but maybe for you, but it is still maybe confused for us. So we asking this kind of questions.
Yeah.
Uh,
What I am going to do from my end is, since Natarajan is the on-ground person who is helping out with this setup, so I'll forward some of this things that we could not completely cover or you would like to explore further. For example, this webhook or WebSocket API or a fully fledged implementation of callback processing or SOAP over GMS. Some of these topics I will let him know, and some of the use cases that you have discussed with me. For example, today's use case to get a customized view of API call per second, per minute kind of views. So I'll send him a list of topics so that he can also help you to understand the use case further and can guide you on how to implement those solutions.
Okay,
So I
thank
have
you.
noted down these things.
Right.
I'll reach out to him as well.
Yes, he's always support us and help us in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think there is a separate training planned starting from 5th of February on the administration part. So we'll cover this installation, fixed installation for API Gateway, IIS, and Developer Portal, plus the other administrative activities such as backup, archiving, backup, purging, certificate installation, maybe, etc. In that session. So if you are all joining, so we can discuss those topics as well.
Yes, actually, we are planned to be in these sessions also. Maybe it will
Okay.
be different team also related to the operation, but we interested to be in this session.
Sure.
But I need from your side maybe to get more detail about the current setup of the infrastructure, because the operation team and application team already involved in this installation and the configuration, and I think they would have a lot of questions related to this containerizing and configuration about the product. And it will not be, maybe they will get into more detail about the configuration and product setting. So
Okay, sure.
I expecting maybe it will be a rich session.
Okay.
It will be a lot of information here. So we will be there, inshallah.
Okay.
Oh.
Sure. We'll soon talk in that session.
Sure.
So, anything else from anyone? Or
Thank you very much for your time and
sure,
for your
no
support.
problem. No
Yeah.
Thank you so
problem.
much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a very good weekend, and we'll see you soon in the next session.
inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you.
شكرا يا يزيد.
الله يعطيك العافية مهندس محمد، والمعذرة على مشكلة التسجيل لأنها والله موجودة عندنا في الشير بوينت، فما
ما في مشكلة، بتواصل أنا مع
هو قال لي إنه حيرفعها على 360 بلاتفورم.
أيوه that's okay.
الله
Okay.
يعافيك.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.